listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Team Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Mistresses After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Mistresses After Show.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys. Welcome to another episode of Mistresses. I'm your host, Virginia Reyna.
Each and every day. I'm Eman.
Francesca. Melina.
And man, we are just having some good episodes. I was loving tonight. I finally feel like we're getting into something.
Yeah, things are happening.
Things are happening. So right away, we see this new guy, which I love because I love hot white guys. And Zach shows up. He's trying to buy their house. Savi and Harry, that is. And did we see anything else other than he was just interested in the house? He didn't really take any interest. He just kind of...
Well, he came after the showing was over, so he really didn't get, you know, time to look at the house, but it's not something he really wanted to, I guess.
Yeah, I think his whole point was to just come
Show
meet
up.
her, but I think he was using that as an excuse because he had no intention on buying the house.
Yeah, which we'll get back to at the very end.
But
I thought he was pretty hot.
I thought he was creepy.
Really? At first? At the end or at first?
Yeah, he just kept on staring at her.
I don't know. I didn't
Her
think...
being savvy.
Her being savvy.
Yeah, at first it was like, oh, it's like flirty looking, but definitely later it was creepy. McCreeperson.
Yeah.
At first I was just like, he's a hot guy. I was kind of staring at him myself. So maybe that's all it was. Okay, so we're just going to talk about Savi and Dom to start out with. And, you know, so I was really surprised that Toni just kind of came out and asked Savi, like, are you married? What's your deal? Because she's trying to get down to the bottom of it. Because we saw last episode, she saw him kissing Savi. Right. And, you know, she got her little sass on. And we knew something was about to go down. What do you guys think about that?
Who wants to take it on first?
She's well, you know, she was taking all the information to catch them lying about it. And I know she's going to use this some way. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't see what she can really do, right? I mean, nowadays it's more common for bosses to date people that they work with, especially with Savi, because she's not really getting any sort of special treatment at all, really. I mean, she skipped work a couple times, but that's pretty much it. I think it's more of an ego thing.
To me, she was being a lawyer, trying to collect information. Like, she was asking him, you know, like, she wanted him to say the reason why he can't get with her is because he's her boss. Yeah. And then as soon as she heard that, she was like, okay, got it. And then I feel like she's just gonna try to get as much information as she can and then use it against them.
And take
there may be a rule where, you know, colleagues can't be in a relationship, especially since he's the boss. Right. He's a partner. So maybe she's going to use it to get her fired, or maybe she's going to say, you know, I'm not getting all the cases I deserve because they're dating.
Special treatment.
Yeah, she'll
find a way to.
She's gathering information right now, and she's coming up with, you know, her angle.
Right. And I actually thought that Toni was going to come and say something about that, because when she came back, Dawn was like, Toni totally covered your ass in that meeting. Yeah. So I thought Toni was going to come back and kind of use that, but that got left untouched. Yeah.
Well, and she did drop like, oh, you know, she's playing completely innocent. She keeps talking to this guy named Harry, you know, and so she knows exactly what she's doing. I mean, she was like, she had her little, you know, plan going in there. You know, I'm going to tell him about the ex-husband. I'm going to say she's not really working. She's having all these visitors and really makes her look bad. I was really surprised that Dom kind of took her side and was like, no, she's been through a lot. Give her the benefit of the doubt.
I was too.
Yeah. He's loyal.
That's good.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, right? Maybe.
I'm on Dom's side. You guys are not. But I have faith in him. Hence my name. But yeah, I think he's a good guy.
I mean, I understand his side where he's getting like, you know, upset because she as a girlfriend said, you know, I need to leave work. I can't handle my case right now. I need to go deal with this thing with my ex-husband. But I feel like he should be prepared. You know, he was part of the reason why her marriage was ending. So he should be prepared that there are going to be steps along the way. Like, it's not going to be peachy. Divorces are hard, you know, so he should expect that, you know, he's going to have to hear about her ex-husband at some point. It's not going to, like, I mean, you don't just get divorced and you go your separate ways. There's houses involved. Luckily, they don't have children involved, you know? So, I don't know. I didn't think he was really too nice about that.
I don't know. Did he ever say, don't talk about Harry?
He said, he basically said, I don't want to hear about your problems with your ex-husband. Like, that's the reason why you left work.
Basically, I think he said, next time you use an excuse, don't make it be about your ex-husband, which is kind of like a slap in the face to him too. So I think that's what he was trying to say.
I think he felt used, because that's how he started that conversation. Like, you're using the boyfriend card. I offered it to you and you didn't want to take it, and now you're abusing it, so I could see where he's coming from, in the sense that he feels that Savi was abusing that boyfriend card to deal with personal issues with her ex. What do you got to say? You want to say something?
I just think that, you know, in order for them to move forward, she has to put everything with her and Harry in the past. Correct. And if she can't sell the house or get everything done with that, you know, how can she put all that in the past and really be with Dom?
Correct.
I totally agree. But if Dom wasn't her boyfriend, if he was just the partner at the law firm, she wouldn't be allowed to do the stuff she's doing. Having her realtor come by, her sister come by, leaving to go check on the painter. That's too much. You can't do all of this at your job. So he is giving her the boyfriend card, allowing her to do all of that because he's the nice, loyal guy that he is, and she's taking advantage of it.
Yeah, well, I like when he, you know, kind of confronted her about that. That would, because it's true. Dom, when he was like, you know, you can't, whatever, when he confronted her about it, that she can't use that. You know, when he was saying, like, I gave you the option for the boyfriend card, you didn't take it. But then I did think it was weird how he defended her to Toni. I do think that was weird, because that shows that he's kind of, I don't want to say choosing a side, but that's her personal thing. And as a boss, she'd be like, I don't talk to you about that, or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
I think also at that point, he was being very professional, because in a real life work environment, I don't think the boss would have just like jumped all over gossip, especially in the sense of it's somebody who's been here for a very long time, somebody who is, and he hit all the facts.
Like, much longer than you, Missy.
Right, much longer than you, and I think you owe her some respect.
And also, I think part of it had to do with him knowing that Savi was right. He's like, oh, shoot. This girl is out to get her, and she's being very manipulative and all of that. So I think that clicked in his head, and he's like, okay, let me defend Savi, because this whole time she knew what was going on.
She sure did. Yeah. And she sounded crazy,
called it,
but she was right. And
Women's intuition.
Well, what do you think about, so Toni lays out all this information in front of Dom, and he does the right thing. He defends this woman, and then she goes to walk away, but then turns around and like this, you could see that she decided something within herself, and then all of a sudden she's hitting on him and telling him that she likes him. What did you think that was a good move? Do you think that was bold? I didn't get that move. I didn't understand why she did that.
Are we talking about mixed spicy?
Yeah. We're talking about Toni, the time waster, or Tina, sorry, the time waster.
No, Toni, the time sucker.
The time sucker.
But we also call her mixed spicy.
Oh, mixed spicy.
Yes.
How did I miss that?
You made up the name.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well,
mixed spicy.
Just laying all the cards out, because I mean that's exactly what she did. She laid all the cards out. Now Dom knows, and Savi knows that she's after Dom. So what did you think about that? Did you think that was a good move? Do you think that, what's her angle with that? I don't understand.
I think that was like her last strike. Like, she was thinking, okay, I'm going to tell on Savi to try to get my way. Right. But if that doesn't work, I'm just going to be upfront and say, look, I like you. I want to be with you. Just to put it in his head. Like, you know, she said, I'm going through a divorce. She never said, I'm with Dom. So in her head, she's still single. Maybe they're just fooling around. She doesn't really know, because nobody's confirmed anything. So she's like, well, if you can fool around with her, maybe you can fool around with me too. And then in the end, I can win you over.
That's a good way to put it.
But she got really excited when he said, I can't date you because you're a coworker. That's when the light bulb turned on for her. So I feel like there's more to the story. She's planning on sabotaging them some way in the workplace. So
She's up to.
She's smart though.
Well, she's a lawyer.
Yeah. She's a smart, spicy one.
Spicy.
She's definitely up to no good.
I agree. I don't know. I don't like her.
We'll find out, definitely.
Well, you're definitely made not to like her. I mean, she always has her cleavage popping out and looking good.
I would hate to work next to her.
Right?
I'd feel like
everybody was even commenting on that. They're like, you have to work with her?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
No, that does suck. I agree.
But she's about her business when it does come to lawyering. She is on top of it. She's willing to take Savi's, cover Savi's butt for her.
But I think she's just doing that to impress Dom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know that, she got in on that last meeting where she was like flirting with the partner, or not the partner, the client. And,
she was.
She knows how to make herself available so she can impress Dom and make Savi look bad.
Exactly.
But I don't know if the ultimate goal is to impress Dom or like impress Dom in a romantic way, or is it in a business way for her to get, higher?
That's what I think. I think what she's saying.
Yeah. Probably a little bit both, but mostly to manipulate her situation so she could.
Yeah, because like she mentioned, before Savi came, she was getting all the cases. He was helping her out.
Yep.
I think that's the angle she's trying to go.
I agree with that. I think she's trying to take his job and run that
his
company.
job?
Oh, yes. Oh.
Well, I mean, I don't think she would take his job. She would just also become a partner.
McSteamy boss.
Yeah. Yeah, because he could still keep his job.
McBossy.
He could still keep his job if she got him fired.
Oh, you're thinking she's trying to get him fired?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I think that's what I was
trying
saying.
To get them both fired.
In the office, she went with her card. I see that. I enjoy your popcorn. She went in with her cards of Savi's doing this, that, and the other thing. It's all bad. And Dom did not take her side. And she literally turned around to leave. And then you saw it, like they showed it to us for a reason. She, all of a sudden, she decided something in herself. And then she turned back around. And that's when she was like, I like you. Do you want to do me? Whatever she said.
Yeah.
And he said no.
She didn't say that.
She didn't say do you want to do me? Melina's writing for Mistresses. And then she leaves. And like you said, Eman, when she left, she had a satisfied look on her face.
Like, got it.
Yep.
Recorded it.
Yep.
Timestamped it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think she's building a case. Some lawyer slogan there, jargon, because I went to Harvard Law, if you guys didn't know.
Did you really?
No, I did not.
I was like, I knew you didn't.
So yeah, I think my opinion is that she's trying to build a case against Dom to take his job. I think originally it was get rid of Savi, and now the focus clearly changed to Dom.
Yeah.
That's my
because I feel like there is some rule where a partner can't be dating.
Probably.
I feel like
no, there isn't. There isn't this rule.
Well, let's call your husband and ask him.
Oh, no, really? I mean, I've heard of it. Yeah, like partners marry associates and secretaries.
Does it depend on the law firm?
I'm sure it depends on the law firm, but
maybe
they work such long hours. Maybe that.
That's it.
That's gotta be what it is because. Yeah, they work long hours. Who else are you gonna that's why like doctors hook up with doctors.
Yes.
Like you never leave your work, so that's.
I need to be at the hospital more if I want to hook up.
Yeah, you could.
Got it.
Well, and Savi had a lot going on because not only was she dealing with Dom, she was also dealing with Harry of being the jerk that I always think he's the jerk, but I kind of felt bad for him today because. If we switch the situation around and it was the guy that cheated on the girl who, like knocked some other girl up and then, she was trying to get him back, I think we would all feel a little bit differently about it. Because I was trying to put myself in that position like, oh my gosh, what would I do if, someone cheated on me and then had a baby with someone else and then I was still trying to get them, I would probably be hurt for longer than weeks, so the fact that
it was months.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I would be devastated. Yeah. So and he just like finally opening up his heart, like this is why I can't talk to you. I'm still so hurt because not only did you cheat on me, I forgave you, and then you still didn't pick me. Like that's really got to be something hard to swallow.
Well, didn't she actually cheat twice?
No,
only once.
No,
they only had sex one time.
Yeah.
Remember the first time they had sex. The second time they had sex was at the beginning of the season.
That's right.
So technically she only
did it once.
Yes. I mean, there was an emotional aspect of things.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying about him and his rant today. Totally get that. My issue with that is is the amount of times that she apologized and wanted to work it out, and she, you know, put it all out there. You know, do we have another shot? Can we make it work? Why not? He didn't give her anything. He didn't respond to any of her calls. You know, he basically made it clear to her that they were done until she was in the hospital bed.
Yeah, but I mean, that's your wife then that's dying. Like, I mean, I feel like, you know, there's got to be just something that is in you, because, I mean, you know, he had to think, I am going to be raising someone else's child. Like, I've wanted to have this child, and now I don't get my child. I get this other guy's child, and I have to be okay with raising that with my wife, you know, and that's really got to be something, you know, like, how would you deal with that? I don't even know how that would work. And so, yeah, he was distant for months, but then, you know, she was dying and he came to her side. I think that I don't know.
Volumes.
Yeah.
That does speak volumes, but I did get what she said about, I didn't know if you came back because, you know, because I was dying or because you really wanted to be with me. And you still don't know. I don't think he even knows.
But
you know,
you're married. Like, you take that vow. She showed up. You should try to move. I don't know. I'm still newlywed, so I'm just.
I think she was wrong for rushing into things with Dom. For sure.
Who
I
does
agree with
that?
that. But I don't think she should have been so quick to take, what's his name? Harry back either. Because to me, that's not genuine. All these months you didn't, you know, want to work things out. All of a sudden I'm dying and then you rush back. That's not, to me, like, take me dying out and then you wanting to work it out, I can actually respect. But now that you think I'm not going to be here anymore, then you're like professing your love to me.
Right.
I don't know if that's right.
I don't know if that's right either. But in my mind, and like I just compare it to real life, she cheated, which is horrible.
Yeah.
And she did it in a nasty way. So he needed his time. And maybe he didn't deal with it the right way. Maybe he should have communicated with her and just said, look, I just need some time and I will get back to you. But that was his right to react the way that he did. So he took as much time as he needed to think about this. And of course, for him to even, for it to not be a definite no meant that there was something in him that was still holding him to Savi. Something in him that he did want to forgive her, but wasn't quite there yet. And then the realization that she could be gone, the fact that she almost died, would wake up anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I think most people, I mean, I even think about my girlfriends who aren't dating, you know, their exes. If they were to die or almost die, I think they would have that moment of, oh my gosh, well, maybe I should have worked it out. Maybe, you know, I think that's just the human nature.
I get that. But had she picked him and they got back together,
right,
would he still want to work things out and still stay around? Or would he be like, oh, she's alive now, I don't know if I really want to be with her? That's where, you know,
I see all your sides.
Yeah.
It's just so, you know, the situation is so crazy,
it's,
and you never know your emotions.
You don't.
And you know, yeah, someone dying for sure would like make you want to be with them, and that could just that emotional reaction. And then, like you said, afterwards, after things subside, then you realize, wait a minute,
do I really want this?
This, you know, this person cheated on me. You know, I mean, I would think they would definitely need a lot of counseling. But yeah, but it was a good thing to see Harry kind of emotional because he is so angry, and you realize how deeply it hurt. Like, of course, you know that's gonna hurt. This is your wife, cheated on you, blah blah. But you didn't, you know, it's always the other way around. So it was nice to see the guy hurting.
Bottom line with him though, he's a very bad communicator. He's terrible, and it's like,
is it an Aussie thing or something?
Maybe it is, but you don't take months to have a conversation with your wife. I mean, you could say what you need to say and say, I need space, you need to leave me alone, or, you know, I'm not through with you, but I need to get there on my own terms.
Right.
But you can't just disappear and go MIA for months and weeks at a time and then just pop up and expect everything to go your way.
Right.
You know?
I agree.
So.
And I almost felt like him taking the offer and sending the realtor to her office, I don't see how anyone in their right mind would think that their soon-to-be ex wouldn't show up at their door. They wouldn't. He knows his ex-wife.
Yeah, exactly.
He knows Savi. He knows she's been trying to reach him. So he would know that, she's gonna come over.
He's very passive aggressive.
Yeah, he is very passive aggressive. And I almost felt like when I was watching that, I was thinking, well, maybe he did that on purpose. Like, he doesn't have the courage to call her back. He doesn't. He doesn't have the courage to see her. But maybe he can set the cards up to where she just shows up, and then he gets to express that side of him, because he did need to express that. They needed closure, like legitimate closure. So he got to express his anger, and Savi got to express, you know, the reasons why she did what she did. And and they both agreed that now it's done, and then they both went their separate ways. So I thought it was good, actually.
Yeah, it was much needed.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought that was funny though that she took another day off work because of that. I was like, really? After what we just went
She's
through?
definitely using that boyfriend card and abusing it. She's doing my boy really wrong.
Her boy is doing Toni.
Yeah, I think her boy
He's not
is doing wrong.
God, I need more popcorn.
Yeah, because I don't know, the way that they left it, you know, he
Yeah.
calls her back at the end and is like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, you were right." No, guys
was just
don't just
weird.
call and say I'm so sorry unless they did something really wrong. And then
Or
we
they've been
see
thinking
the
something
preview,
wrong.
he's saying he needs to just, you know, get everything out in the open.
Yes.
And I think that's when he's going to drop the bomb, like, "Oh, by the way, I was pissed at you, so I slept with Toni."
Maybe not slept with
Yeah,
Toni,
but
because that is pretty extreme, but did something with Toni. Maybe, I don't know what he did
Or maybe
with
he
Toni.
just feels guilty for that whole little conversation.
No. What about the
Trying to be on your side, okay? Okay,
needs
Iman,
a
I'm trying to be
buddy.
on your side.
How about the fact that he said all of a sudden now he's going to be working extra hours at the office?
Maybe.
remember
He's
him saying
always
that?
working extra hours at the office.
Yeah, but
I don't know. With his casual clothes, I don't know.
With his casual clothes.
I think like a man most of the time.
No.
And I always flip out, and then like hours later I'm like, oh damn, I overreacted. That's exactly what happened. He overreacted, he realized it, and he called to apologize like a normal boyfriend should. He called to apologize, and then the reason why he felt so guilty is because McSpicy finally showed her cards. Now he knows Savi's right. She's been right this whole time. So he doesn't want to come out and say, oh, you were right, because then she has one up on him. So he kind of has to hold that information back, and he feels guilty. Are you making faces? I'm really passionate about this.
I really hope you're right, because I want to like Dom. But
Yeah. Why do you think he would say we really need to be open with each other? Because clearly unless there's something with Harry, which I highly doubt, like Savi's pretty much put everything out on the table. Yeah. She's told him about Harry and stuff like that. So what would we have to reiterate the fact that we as a couple need to be honest with each other?
That was leading
Guilty
up to the
conscience,
coming
truth hurts.
episode with the new guy in the mix. That's why he said that.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe.
That guy's creepy though.
But I don't, yeah, because I don't think he's going to go and say, "Oh, hey, Toni, you know, did this, you know, she came up and said this," because that's just going to make Savi more neurotic. Like, you don't tell your girlfriend, "Yeah, this other girl actually is hitting on me."
Yeah.
You know, like you
He's
would
not gonna
never,
do that.
you would never tell her
No.
that. So what else does he have to be open about?
I don't know.
Iman?
McSpicy is not gonna quit.
No, she won't.
She's
up
gonna
to dirty.
quit. She's never gonna quit. She's gonna keep pushing his buttons, keep pushing Savi's buttons. So therefore, there's gonna be more drama, more information to withhold, and that's what he was talking about.
Okay. We shall see.
I got your back, Dom. Nobody else does, but I do.
Nope. Nobody.
I can't wait till next week or the week after we realize that I'm right.
Oh, you guys want to hear some exciting news as I'm trolling Twitter right now?
Please, tell us.
Mistresses, #Mistresses is trending
Woohoo.
as we speak. And there seems to be a lot of concern about using a punching bag.
Oh, yeah, that was the worst use
do
of
you
a
mean?
punching bag.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
those are like air punches. Can we just talk about Karen and Joss's new BFF like status? Because where did that come from?
But
Nowhere.
speaking of punching bags, I think the girls on the show could definitely as well use Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness that Maria Menounos has put out. Pretty awesome book. She has recipes in there, a bunch of detailed pictures for working out, stuff you could do right in the office at home. So Karen might need this book. Don't you guys think?
I actually just started reading it and I love it because she kind of walks you through like her background of, you know, how she was growing up with her parents and how they always fed her really healthy
Yummy Greek
food. And then
food.
she went off to college and, you know, it was like, you can have anything you want. And that was kind of me when I moved to Germany. I'm like, my parents were feeding me anymore and I was drinking beer and having bratwurst. And I kind of put on a lot of weight just like she did. And so reading these tips, they're all just like really simple little life changes you can make that, you know, you can really slim down. Not that I'm slimming down anytime soon, but
yeah, and I feel like the girls should have a workout session with her so they can really learn how to punch and how to like lift weights. I was like, what is that?
Even the background actors were just, it was so like no one's sweating, no one, everyone was like
but they weren't even really punching.
No.
She was like,
I know. It was ridiculous. But yeah, that's everybody's hashtagging mistresses, and I just see
talking about the punching bag
over and over again. I actually can box. Does that make me an actress? What's going on with the fake boxing on today?
Somebody said, Toni, one trip and we'd all see your nipples.
Snap.
Who said that?
Oh, the white dress. Yeah, I was kind of feeling
hilarious.
that too.
All her dresses,
all her everything. I mean, Toni just dresses to really catch the attention of people. Oh my gosh, I just love trolling Twitter.
And Twitter's awesome.
What is happening?
That's a good segue though into Karen with her punching bag.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I just saw the tweet you were talking about. So yeah, as people are listening, hopefully they'll continue to tweet, because that does keep it kind of interesting to see what you guys are thinking about on the show, because we know what we're thinking about. So it'd be amazing to hear what listeners and viewers are thinking about. And you hear that? Hashtag mistresses, like now. Okay.
Yeah, tweet us.
Tweet us.
Tweet. We're
Yeah.
here.
I was really surprised that Karen said she didn't realize Jacob liked her, because I thought it was just so obvious. Like, that's why he reported you to the board. Why else would he do it?
Cared so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was so hurt.
That's a odd way of getting somebody.
No, I didn't like any of that.
No, that's jealous. I mean, he was jealous. She was like
Yeah.
sleeping with the patient, and you know, he liked her the whole time. Boys work in weird ways.
Yeah, there's no coming back from that. You report me, we're
done.
never.
We are
I mean, I
done.
feel like she's crazy for her to even consider
Consider.
dating him, because
I
I'm
agree.
like,
I agree.
he's a creep.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
whole time he's talking, and I'm like, why are you intriguing him in a conversation? Just like turn around and walk away. You're a scumbag. I'm sorry that you liked me and I didn't know, but no, like a new Ferrari, maybe we could start talking. Maybe some new Gucci shoes. Talking. I'll
Shoes
listen.
always cures everything.
Right? But until then, you don't. And then the setup to her actually asking him out on a date, and then him saying no, which
But maybe we'll go out for lunch sometime.
as friends, as friends. And he said it like stuttering like a little idiot. I don't know. I don't like him. I want him gone.
I like him. I feel bad for him. He was put in a really crappy situation, because he could have lost his practice too had he not known. You know, and like, I mean, he could have had like, I mean, remember her, like that kid, I forgot what his name is, Sam.
Yeah.
He was coming in like crazy person. You know, like there was a lot going on. So he had to do his duty as another, like on whatever, I don't know if it's like the medical board or whatever, but you know, he had to do his duty to report what was going on.
I totally agree.
And she knew, like she knew what she was doing, and so that's why she forgave him. You know,
I agree with you on that. I think that it was ethical of him to report her, but the reason he reported her was stupid.
Right
You could,
there.
I mean, it's
'Cause
like,
he said it himself. I did it for the wrong reason.
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't report somebody
Okay.
because they, you know, they don't like you. That's grade school. What
But-
she did was
but
wrong,
have
and that's why you
guys
should have reported
never done
her.
anything like that?
Never.
Y'all never been like a little bit upset at
I've
somebody?
never called 911 on
A fake? No.
this guy didn't call me back, so I'm just gonna call the police on
Because
him.
I know that he be running around with that guy. No. I've never done that. No. You have.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a situation where that might be okay. I can't think of anything. To report somebody for doing something really wrong?
Because
I mean, I'm sure
you're
that's
jealous?
what tipped him over the edge. Like, I'm sure he was like, should I do this? Should I not? And then he's like, yeah, you kind of pissed me off for a while. I'm just going to do it anyways.
He should have done it from
Yes.
the first moment he realized
That's what I
that was going on, and because it's wrong.
Isn't that when he did it?
No.
No?
When she wouldn't go out with him
Yeah.
or whatever, and he was like, oh, you won't go out with me, but you're dating this guy? Oh, okay, that's when I'm going to report you.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he did it when he found out.
No.
No. Had he done it the right way and then told her I had feelings for you and I'm sorry that I did it, but I had to do it. Okay, just like she said, well, no, it was the right thing to do. And then he's like, yeah,
But I did
you're
it
right, but I did it for the wrong reasons. And it's like, oh, well, scumbag, go away. Why
I mean, I just questioned Karen's thinking because
too.
even after the fact, she's like entertaining him. She's like, oh, let's go on a date. Like, Karen, no. First it was your patient, then it was his son. Now it's the guy that reported you.
And it's about to be escorts. So I'm
so excited.
I'd rather her live that life than start take these guys seriously. They're like psychotic.
Yeah, no, they're really psychotic.
But they live in LA. So I mean
that's why I don't date in LA. God,
you're bi-coastal. You date East Coast.
I'm just like taking a break from dating in general.
Good girl.
Yeah,
we should talk to April about that and Karen. Have a sit down with them.
Yeah.
Speaking of April, can we just touch on that for a second?
Sure.
About the fact of Mr. McSkeezy.
Daniel? Oh no.
Zach.
What was it?
Mr. McSkeezy, Zach at her party.
Steve.
Peyton's parents.
Peyton's dad, Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Steve. That's right.
Creeper.
Steve.
Yeah.
Steve.
Creepy Steve.
Wait.
Too bad creepy doesn't start with an S, because then it'd be like,
Yeah.
you know,
I know.
yeah. Damn. Okay.
Stevie.
Sleazy. There we go. Yes.
Sleazy Steve.
Yeah, he was
Sleazy
sleazy.
Steve.
Now that we got that covered.
Names are important to us. Nicknames.
But you can kind of tell that he was like,
Something
he
was
hadn't dated in a while, because how do you go in for a kiss at 11 a.m. at a coffee shop, like with everybody watching? You're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, no,
After you
that's
just
not how
talked
it goes
about
down.
cars
And there's like no interest shown.
No.
She went for the handshake,
And he even
went
looked at it. He was like,
He's like, nope, gonna go in for the kiss.
oh, she's
Nobody.
just being modest.
Maybe he's just that gross that he hooks up with girls all the time, after telling about, oh, my 10th car and all this other stuff that maybe, he was just like, you never know.
Okay, you got to think, though, and not saying this is okay by any means, but Peyton was a little brat.
Oh, she was the
So,
worst.
Where does she learn that from? Her parents. So if, her mom's that way, maybe he's like, oh, God, I'm tired of this, so he's probably always going on dates, maybe.
maybe.
I think he is. I don't think that was his first time.
No.
Oh, no. And he did it at the party, which is bizarre because her mom didn't go to the party, right? Mm-hmm. I thought Peyton said that they wouldn't go. Mm-hmm. So Daddy went anyway, which is weird. So, like, why did he even go? Had he already known of April?
And he lied and said that he was a guest of somebody's.
Oh, that's right. He really, Oh, man.
He's a
really
creep.
creepy.
Yeah.
I'm just glad it ended like that. And because I thought he was going to take it to a few different levels. Like stalking, and like he gives off that real creepy man vibe from television, from watching on a flat screen.
Yeah, that
he seemed like
that would be really odd.
Yeah, he played the part well.
Yeah.
Of like a guy you never want to see again after a date.
All the new guys are like creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Like the new guy,
true.
Zach,
yeah.
and this guy,
Yeah.
just super creepy. And then the guy from last season, her ex-partner, he's
Jacob.
creepy too.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Isn't it Jacob?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like any of the men tonight.
I'm telling you, the black boys are not creepy.
Well,
No. This is true.
Speaking of black boys, Casey was a little not what I expected today.
Yeah, disappointed.
I was really excited because starting from episode 1, I thought him and Karen would make such a perfect little couple. And then today, he like shows up in a t-shirt, jeans, brings over probably a cheap bottle of wine. I'm not going to judge. Maybe it was a fine bottle of wine, but I doubt it. But then takes her to Hot Wings and pool.
Yeah, like even if you had that planned, based off what she was wearing, you switch it up right away. Like, oh, okay, let's do something different. Let's go to Mastro's,
Let's do
But
something. No.
I'm hoping this is not their way of writing him off the show.
That's what I'm.
Because I'm like hoping to get him on our show. You know.
Yeah. It just I don't see where else it could go because she was like it was just unless Casey now all of a sudden starts pursuing Karen, it's just that's gonna fizzle. How else is he gonna be incorporated into the rest of the season?
But they did say that she asked him out.
Yeah.
So why was he like? Where were they so off that she was in a really nice dress and he was in jeans?
I guess she must have just called and been like, hey, do you want to go out tonight? Sure. Pick me up at 7. Okay, sounds good. Bye.
But he's a lot younger, right? So.
Well, but I mean, I feel like that would be so uncomfortable because if I saw a guy who was dressed like that, I would be like, oh, let me go change and I'll just throw in some jeans too. Like, would you go out in a dress like that?
Was he wearing jeans?
He was wearing a t-shirt.
I thought, was he? Wasn't he wearing like a button down? No.
I thought it was. I don't know.
It looked like a brown.
I was just looking at his face.
Me too.
He looked way more casual than she did.
I don't think he was that casual. I think in comparison to what she was wearing, it was like day and night.
Right.
But she was overdressed. For a first date, you don't even know where you're going. You don't wear that.
Yeah.
You save that for a third date.
But she doesn't know that. And she's a very professional woman.
And she was saying she hasn't really been in the dating scene since 2000.
Also, she was about to change, but Joss made her keep that outfit on.
But she probably would have put on another really, really cute dress because her closet's just...
Yeah,
but that was like that was almost black tie, what she was wearing, you know?
True.
No, it was black tie. That was a really nice gown. I would wear that to a black tie event. She looks fabulous in every single episode. But I'm bummed. So there goes my Karen and Casey theory.
Hey, you never know.
Didn't we have like some money on
wait,
this?
What? I'm not... I think I lost you.
Her mic went out, guys.
Sorry.
I could have sworn it was like $5 or $10. Gonna go back and watch the first episode because I feel like I'm right.
Might be. I don't know.
I feel like we have a couple bets going.
There are a couple bets.
We need to start keeping track.
I know, right? We need to just have
I think they should just make me a writer next season because I've been...
She has been on. Eman has been on about your predictions. And I want to hear...
The paint party?
Hold on, knock on wood.
Yeah, listen to this. This was totally random. So she being April... throws this party called Party, and we don't really know what's going on, and then she gets her best friend to kind of come in and pitch in because it's a disaster, and little Eman is sitting here watching the show.
Why I gotta be little?
Because you are, honey. She is watching the show, and then she just happens to comment on the fact that, well, she's an artist, it should be a painting party, and then all of a sudden it cuts to the party, and it's, oh, look at that, men walk paint all over themselves. So you are pretty good.
Genius. Yeah.
Thank
you, Melina. That was really sweet.
You did call it. Yeah. I thought it was funny though because the opening scene with April, she's telling Lucy like you can't be concerned about showing off to your friends and blah blah blah. That's why you can't have a cell phone. Yeah. And the second that mom's, it's like, oh, what's your party gonna be? She's like freaking out, like, oh my god, I gotta do something really big to impress everybody. That paint party impressed people,
especially at the end when she bought her little lady a cell phone.
Yeah,
which I think
was
amazing.
I think she got it.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, I was a hypocrite. Let me make up for this.
Yes.
Which, you know, parents sometimes don't feel the pressure until they go through it. And they're like, oh, this is what my daughter's going through on a daily basis. And she has her in this really rich private school. Yeah. So she kind of has to keep up with the Joneses to a certain level, to a certain extent. You know, I don't think she should be keeping up with every single thing they're doing, but there's a few things like cell phones, shoes, whatever.
She
you
doesn't
know,
want to be the poor girl at school.
Exactly.
I mean, they're not poor, but they're definitely not millionaires.
Well, in comparison to everybody else, they are poor.
Yeah, that's true. Compared to everybody else at that school, they're
welcome to LA,
right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, LA problems.
Was anybody else getting butterflies when I got butterflies.
As she's going like this to my water, I'm like, wait.
I'm stroking her mug.
Let me guess what you're gonna say.
Okay, go.
When she got text messages.
I kind of got butterflies too. It was so cute. Lucy turns on her phone and like she being April, Lucy turned on April's phone because she did something. I don't know what she did to turn off notifications.
She probably like turned off the data or something like that.
Weird. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you hear bleep, 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 like a bunch. And all
she just sat there giggling. We always make me and my friends. I don't know. You guys probably do too. Make fun of people when they're like smiling when they're texting. You're like, what are you guys?
But it's not the
about?
most exciting feeling when you just went on a date or hooked up. In her case,
right?
And you don't hear from this guy for several days, and then all of a sudden, all the text messages come in, and it's like all your worries just go out the window.
Right.
Now you start planning your outfits. Yeah, that was amazing.
It was amazing. So I kind of changed my opinion about him because I thought he was going to be really not that good, and I thought April was going to play him, but I think they're actually really liking each other. Aww, I'm really excited.
Yeah, hopefully there isn't really something fishy
that?
about Vermont.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm on her team. We'll see.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you can do that at first, sure. I mean, if he's away, of course he can send a text message. That isn't really that hard.
He probably said send me He probably was like, send me a picture. Did you get that? Send me another picture. Are you sending me a picture? Did you get my text about sending me a picture?
Typical guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see about that one.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping. I hear wedding bells.
Wow.
Yeah, not so much on this side.
Yeah.
Wedding bells?
This is still based in LA. Remember
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
Yeah,
Wedding bells,
They hooked up once.
No, like 5 times.
like all weekend long.
Once, and now he's
The whole
gone. Who knows
weekend.
when he's coming back or
But
what
he's
he's
been
doing in
texting
Vermont.
her. I know, but
Coming
it's
back
still-
next episode.
Yes.
It's
It's
still
time.
fishy, you know, like I said before, that he went out there and he's out there for so long.
Oh, yeah, that's
and the
right.
fact that you saying he's texting, that doesn't matter. I had someone lie to me and say they were out of town and they were texting me they were doing this with so and so and that was so and so. So you just because you text doesn't mean,
What a jerk.
yeah, totally.
Okay, well, hopefully that's not what's
Now, if
going
he
on.
called her, I would be like, okay.
Maybe, we don't know. Her data's been off.
Your dad.
You can still receive
Oh,
phone
yeah,
calls.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on
But
there.
people don't call anymore.
No, they don't. They text.
Yeah.
And then they complain that you're not responding to their text. And you're like, why didn't you just call?
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Sometimes I hate when people come like, oh, why didn't you just text me?
Yeah, I hate talking on the phone.
It depends.
Yeah, it
to
depends
me,
a lot.
when I like somebody,
Yeah.
I expect them to call me.
Right.
But when it's like the first or second date and I'm unsure about the person, I'm like, oh God, he's calling me. Who does that?
I know, right?
I'm such a hypocrite. It's the worst. But
It's just, depends on the situation.
I think calling is the way to go if you want something real.
I agree.
It's true.
Right, Miss Married Girl?
I don't know. Brian and I texted a lot when we first started dating.
Really?
Like long, funny little text.
So did he ever call?
I mean, he lived in the building that I worked in, so we'd see each other like every day. So he didn't really call. It was more like,
Well-
hey, let's go get lunch, and he'd just come in.
That makes sense. If you're seeing somebody on a consistent basis, calling's not necessary. But when you're in Vermont and the other person's in LA, you should pick up the phone.
You need to be FaceTiming. I need to see your
know.
surroundings. Where are you
FaceTiming.
really? No, I'm just kidding.
Then I have a thing about FaceTime too. If you FaceTime somebody too soon, it's
Yeah, that's creepy too.
too much
Yeah.
too soon.
true.
So
I've only FaceTimed once.
Look at
And it was one of my girlfriends, and I was like, oh, this is so awkward.
yeah, it's really hard for me to FaceTime. I have to really love you.
Yeah, I just doesn't even occur to me to FaceTime somebody. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm older.
No, the only time, now that I think about it, the only time I really FaceTime someone was I was in New York and I was talking with my cousin back home. So,
Yeah.
family.
I FaceTime like family and my
Yeah.
little cousins or like my girlfriends in Atlanta. I'll FaceTime them when they want to make me feel like I'm a part of the clique when they're all together.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's really cute.
That is cute.
I should FaceTime more.
I don't
Yeah.
FaceTime boys though. No.
No.
Yeah.
I'm glad you don't.
Yeah.
That could get messy.
Wow. Are you speaking from experience?
No. You guys. That's what they say
Yes,
on the
you're blushing a
internet.
little bit.
No.
I read this
So
somewhere.
I think we need to talk about Joss and Harry now. Moving
I
on.
just feel like nothing's going on with Joss.
yeah,
Where's her
she did show
character
up
going?
a lot in everyone else's
She's like a
stuff
supporting
today.
actress.
Yeah, but today wasn't really her day for a storyline per
It
se.
wasn't, but she was in almost every
Scene.
yeah,
It's like, oh, there's Joss. Okay.
She was everybody's BFF.
the messenger and the biffle,
What's a
biffle?
like best friends for life
English
forever.
is our
and
second
stuff.
language.
Yeah, right?
So what?
Oh, biffle. I
I
was
don't
wondering
know.
what
I
the
use that.
was
I don't know
for.
if anyone else uses
What
it.
is
Best friends for
Biffle.
life.
It's like something like I don't know.
Friends for life. Oh, BFFL. Biffle.
Yeah, biffle. There you go.
No, it's biffle.
It's French. Le biffle.
Oui, oui.
But yeah, she was supporting role, or not supporting. She was messenger between
Harry and Savi.
Harry and Savi,
Yes.
and then she was BFFs with
Karen.
Karen.
And
Today.
April at one point, right? Or is that somebody else?
Which is April?
I don't think that
I
was
think
this
she
No,
kind
it
episode.
was April and her gay BFF.
Yeah. April was kind of on her own today.
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't really on either that much.
Well, she's a mom. You know, she had to do with her daughter. That day
did she?
too. Yeah.
Oh, did
Because
she?
her daughter's in town this week.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
so she's not
next
sleeping
week,
her life
I feel
away at
like
someone's
her
house.
daughter will be out of town. She'll be back with Mick Hottie.
Well, we do see that in the
Sexy
preview.
smoldering, yeah.
We do
Sexy
see it
smoldering
in the
bed.
preview. I'm excited for the preview because we did not have Anna Kim today on the episode, which she has her and Karen are just amazing. And then but then in the preview for next week, she comes out about being
An escort.
yes.
Yeah, I think it's about to get really good.
I know, and she's like,
Hot
no,
and
it's really,
steamy.
it's really easy. So,
And then
she
we're
didn't say
gonna
it like
have
that,
her
but-
here next week
I
to tell
know.
us all about it live. That's
know,
so
I'm so
exciting. I'm really
excited.
excited.
Yeah,
Very
she's a
excited.
sweetheart. She hasn't been tainted by Hollywood yet, so she's really just eager to talk about the show.
Super excited.
So I'm excited to have her on too, and see what the heck is gonna happen.
I know.
In yesterday's episode, next week's episode.
And definitely, if you guys have any questions you want us to ask her, please tweet us. We'll give our Twitter handles at the end of the episode and let
Right.
us know. Because, yeah.
You have to let us know. You have to let
It's
us know.
getting good. It's getting
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, what questions do we ask?
Yeah. Whatever questions you guys have, that's not sexual. We'll go ahead and ask her.
Appropriate for all
Or
audiences,
sexual.
please.
Or sexual. Okay, we can
It
make
is
her blush.
Mistresses.
Yeah.
It is, and
True.
she is an escort apparently.
Yeah.
So
We'll just put a disclaimer in the beginning of our
no
episode.
curse words.
Like, what
Not
kind of
appropriate
training
for
did you
14
have
and
to
under.
do
To be an escort
on
to
TV?
pretend to be an
On
escort on
TV.
TV.
Well, she did tweet, I don't know if you guys saw like a couple days ago, that her character is about to get really, really crazy. So it has to be more than just, I'm an escort. I think it's going to show her doing some crazy shenanigans.
Well,
And-
that's what escorts do.
what do you mean?
I mean,
What do you mean? What do I mean?
What do you mean?
What do you think escorts do?
Well, they have sex
What
with
do they
random
do?
people, right?
some.
Is that what they do?
Well, they're
like
supposed to go on
for
dates.
hire.
They're not
Okay.
supposed to have sex.
Yeah,
That's
they're not.
prostitution, right?
But
Yeah,
I'm
that
sure
is,
I'm sure a
but-
lot do, but technically
Technically, they're just dates.
they're not supposed to.
Oh, okay. So they go on dates. Oh, that's
But
not so
Yeah,
bad.
I'm
they
sure-
escort you.
Yeah, to special events and
So
look
you have
pretty
pretty
on your
That's
arms.
not so bad. Why do they have such a bad rep?
Like
Because a
Beast
lot of them-
Diviano.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, was she an escort?
Isn't that what she was?
Oh, I
No.
thought she was a
She was
model.
and his assistant.
Oh, that's what she wants to call it? Okay.
Listen, I'm not gonna get into her business, but a lot of escorts, I mean, do end up sleeping
Assistants?
with a lot of assistants do their bosses because
escorts, assistants,
Yeah.
prostitutes. It's all the
it's all the same.
It's all the same.
And you know, and I don't know, maybe drugs, because if she's gonna get,
I think so.
because you think of like stuff like that. Sometimes you're gonna be dealing with people that you wouldn't normally deal with,
Right.
and you kind of need help to
For her to say that her
alleviates.
character is going to get crazy, I think it's going to be
sex,
more,
drugs, and rock and roll.
more than just the escort, because we all already know that it's the escort, so it can't be that.
Yeah.
And then don't forget that, what was that, 2 weeks ago when we saw Karen get pushed up against the wall by some crazy man. I don't know what's going on there.
That's
And
a part of the escort business.
Yeah,
What's-
sometimes people are crazy.
oh yeah, they do that sometimes, huh? They get crazy. I wouldn't know, not in that service. But I do have a question. Back to Savi, and Zach. At the end, did anybody think that was a little weird?
Well, yeah,
Super
it was
weird.
weird.
I was worried
But
for
do you
her for
know
a second.
why?
I know. I thought he was gonna look around and be like, "Is anyone home?"
Yeah,
and then,
like,
like,
I'm
I thought he
gonna
was gonna
kill
kill
her.
her. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
We don't know.
Well, in next week's episode, it shows them hugging.
Oh, that's
it's almost like
right.
he's her long lost brother or something.
That's what I was
Why would he
thinking.
be so intense?
I don't know. I would.
But if it was her long lost brother, wouldn't she recognize him?
Not necessarily.
I mean, half brother.
Twins switched at birth. Oh, I covered that
Switched
show
at
tomorrow.
birth.
Switched at birth.
I mean, I can't think of what else it would be.
I don't know.
It was so weird.
it was
I guess
weird.
this is kind of like predictions.
Yeah.
Like, what do we think is going to happen?
I don't know. He was very.
Cue the music.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Who could he be? Who could he be?
This music is really freaking me out.
Just like he was freaking me out.
I want to say her long lost brother or relative are somehow connected some way. But then again, I feel like we saw previews of them kissing or not being family. So
Well,
I don't know.
I think
It
it was
was
just
weird.
a hug.
She didn't recognize him.
But then who's the guy that she ends up having a fling with and Dom kind of gets irritated? I think it was him.
I don't know.
She has a fling with somebody?
Like, two can play this game.
What?
Wait, was that in the preview,
Well,
or
if
was
two
that like?
can play
was
this
just a
game, that
preview.
means Dom must be playing some game.
Hello. Are you guys not listening about Dom? And who
What,
says- yes,
look,
McSpicy.
what had happened was
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just reminding her that she might be wrong.
McSpicy is telling Savi that there's stuff going on. So she's just thinking,
Oh, where
And-
was I? I was watching that. Did that happen today?
no, the writers just texted me.
It's friends with them.
Dang, you have an end that I don't have.
So I don't know. I didn't think long lost brother because he was so intense.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not here about the house. It was weird. And then she didn't recognize him at all. And she's like, should I invite you in? And I guess they did. And then they were hugging, which is very weird.
And he said, we need to talk.
Yeah, we need to talk.
What do we have to talk about?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What could we talk about?
It would be different if like Savi was a guy and that was a girl, because then it meant like he just had her baby, but men can't have babies. So that didn't make sense.
No.
To you? Okay. But I can't.
That made total sense to me,
See,
Melina.
we're connected.
Like one night stand. I had your baby.
I know, but you're like, but men can't have babies. That's
Right.
what
I said
like,
if the roles were reversed and Savi was a
mind.
guy, and okay.
He was
Anyway.
showing up at the doorstep like, I have your 18-year-old.
in the car.
Yeah.
Let's hug it out. I don't.
Was that wrap it up?
Yeah, I think that was wrap
Mistresses
it up.
past.
No, that was outside.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, can we talk about your little interview you had?
Oh, that wasn't what I was going to talk about. But before I forget, it was so funny that Alyssa was on Jimmy Kimmel, I think it
Yes.
was last week, and she was talking about how she's a huge hockey fan. She was Kings fan or whatever. She had like all these superstitions, and she's burning candles for them and all of that. And they were talking about, you know, whether they're gonna win or not, but they end up winning.
They did.
And she was at the game, and she's like super excited because she's a huge fan, to the point where she makes her husband wear the same sweater, same hat, just so they like win the
Yeah,
game.
I know she's really intense with sports and baseball.
Wow.
Especially. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
She
about
also
little
has
Alyssa.
like a 49er line, and I'm a 49ers fan, so I
Yeah.
like her a lot too.
I love that you thought I was a football fan.
That was so funny because you said 49 and 49. I was like, oh my God, yes. We're talking about a tweet because now that basketball's over and hockey's over, she's like, Eman's like, yes, 49 days of no sports. And I was like, I totally misread it. And she said 49 days and 49 something. And I was like, are you a 49er fan like me? And she's like, no.
I hate sports. No, like it's so funny because I feel like my followers on Twitter mute me every time I talk about sports because I'll say like the wrong things.
Yeah.
Like it'll be a football game on and I'll be talking about basketball. That's how bad I am. So one of my followers tweeted me because I was like, oh my God, thank God, you know, basketball's over, peace, whatever. And then somebody tweeted me 49 days to football season. And I was like, 49 days of peace. And then she got excited because she thought I was a football fan. And I was like, I hate football.
That was so funny.
But yeah, that was funny. But yeah, interview, that was fun.
Yeah.
I got to interview Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill it was the week before when I was in New York.
Yes.
And that was like the most exciting thing I've ever done in my life. I was so nervous at first, but they were such nice guys.
And she did awesome. She really did
Aw,
awesome.
thank you.
Yeah, go check it out if you haven't seen it. Where can they find it?
I'll tweet it. So if you go on my Twitter, you can watch it. I'm sure it's on my timeline, but I'll retweet it again. I need the views, so please go check it out.
So to keep a record, you interviewed those two, but you've also interviewed Zac Efron.
Yes, and Seth Rogen.
Just saying.
Yeah.
She's just saying.
Zac
You're just
Efron.
getting all of the Hollywood hotties.
I'm trying. I have a list of Hollywood hotties. So
That's
yeah.
very good. Very good.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys checking it out.
Check out her video.
And did you interview somebody from the show too?
From this show?
Yeah.
Yeah, Christian Keys.
Okay.
Yes, I need to get that footage. Next week I'm gonna have the footage.
Very good.
Yes.
Very
Hopefully
good.
get them in.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hopefully.
we'll tweet him.
We'll tweet him. Oh, and
You
then-
guys tweet them too.
Yes, tweet him, and then we all need to tweet Jason George. And
Yes.
I need to apologize to you for harassing you last week. I'm sorry, I didn't know that was you. I did not want to accuse you of breaking into the building. I just didn't know who you were. But we would love to have you on the show, so we should tweet him. He has class every Monday night, so unfortunately he can't come Monday night. But maybe we could, you know,
We can
Tape
we'll
another
figure
day.
out something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Melina, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at Melina TV.
Yep. Instagram, Twitter, XOXOCESCA.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Imani Fresh. That's EMANI Fresh.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Virginia Reyna. Thank you guys for watching again. Have a great night.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.